Oh my God, we're back again. 30 the new 20 starting right now.
Hey guys, it's 30 the new 20 with Chesley.
And Deja.
Today we have somewhat of a touchy topic. No, I wouldn't say touchy. It's something that needs to be said. We're talking about women in a male society. We're going to talk about how women have grown to dominate in a male-led society, and we're just going to talk about it, have a conversation about that. So, Deja, how do you feel? Is it easier for women to achieve their goals, or is it easier for men to achieve their goals faster?
I think because the way that women have had to prove themselves in the workplace, I think it's still much harder for them to get in respected places like men do. So it's much easier for men because we've grown, or society has made it that men have always been natural born leaders and always have these what do you call it, societal roles that men do men things and women do women things. So as women have become more independent and are now stepping into fields that, as society put it, is a man's job, it kind of strokes the ego of men. So it's definitely much harder for women to get in some prominent positions. And I think that's exactly why women definitely make less than men.
I think for me, because I have a CDL, and a lot of people have issues. Dudes get surprised when I say, "Oh, you got a CDL? You know how to drive trucks?" Yeah, I know how to move a large vehicle with passengers. I can drive a bus. I can drive a MARTA bus if I wanted to. But like for me, it gets to me a lot, because I'm like, when the dude's like, "Well, you can drive a truck." Yeah, I can do the same thing you do. Not all men drive trucks. Women do it too. So like, I feel like sometimes it's a point where dudes feel like we're not capable of doing the job when we really are. Like, we can do anything you put your mind to, like your parents say. So that's how I feel.
Again, that still strokes on the male ego, because it's just like, I like to think that men are really black and white and women are more detail oriented. And I think that's how a woman dominates in male roles, because they're very the skill set that a woman possesses makes her surpass what males can do. Like, if you ask them, can you describe a shirt that a woman's wearing, they just gonna say it's purple. But a woman will break down the shirt, like it has polka dots, it's lavender. They're more specific. And I think women, with what they do, it's just, and being a woman myself, like, if it's just not straightforward in one answer, or if it's just one solution, men don't think outside the box. I mean, I think they do in some sense, but I think women are more creative and strive to make differences, like very innovative when it comes to different skill sets.
I just recently watching the news today, Keisha Lance Bottoms said on the news that majority of the businesses that are in Atlanta are owned by Black African American women, and they are minorities, and they own most of the businesses down there. And I thought I didn't know that. That was something I just learned today. Like, there's so many women that own their own business in Atlanta that carry the economy like that. So that's amazing to me, to see how much of growth we have come so far.
Yeah.
In society. And then I think also that men sometimes feel intimidated about us. I know guys feel intimidated by me all the time, because I work so many jobs and stuff like that. They get to a point where, like, dog, you can't do nothing for her because she got this and this and that going on. But still, like, I still worked hard to get to where I'm at right now. So that is one thing that does bother me. But with men, they just let it rule everything, and I just gets on my nerves. Okay, does it depend on the situation or setting for women to be more dominant than men, do you think? Does it depend on the setting or the situation?
I don't think so.
I think, like, say for instance, if we say sports, typically, like we said, talk about football, typically that's a male-dominated sport. Like situations like that, there's not many women that represent. Luckily, we just had in the last Super Bowl the first female NFL coach ever in a Super Bowl was able to coach a team, even though they didn't win. She still was there on the field coaching. So I mean, like, I feel like different situations, like in sports, where there's not, in certain sports, there's not a lot of women represented in those areas. And I think sometimes women, like for instance, fashion, there's a lot of fashion designers and there's a lot of makeup stylists and stuff like that, especially in like movies and stuff. There's a lot of women that are doing those big roles, and like not necessarily like sports that has not get transferred to construction. There's not a lot of women either in those kind of roles doing those kind of things. I don't know somebody that's a woman. You typically don't see a female doing construction work. Maybe an architect, yes, but not doing the actual work.
I mean, right, it'll be taboo for a woman to not be in a specific gender role, but you have to think about back in the day when men were going off to war, the men weren't available to work and the women still had to hold it down to make sure home was taken care of and make sure money was coming in, making sure the family was fed, making sure there's a home, food up, things like that. So the women had to go to work. Then when the men came back, the women was like, shoot, we've been holding it down this long, so we're going to continue to do what we have to do. Women were working in factories. Women were doing what they had to do. And I think that contributes to society today. Like, women are definitely trailblazers when it comes to things that people, quote unquote, say are for a men's job. Like, I work in the information service department, and we have our head director of the IT department at Emory is a woman. Mm-hmm. My director of my specific department is a woman. So everybody thinks, it's got to be a geek or something like that deals with computers and systems and things like that. But women have definitely changed the game. I just hate that women have to prove themselves. And sometimes I think people always want to put those stereotypes on women on, like, oh, she made it to the top because she did something vulgar or just to get there. But women do learn these skill sets, are educated, are capable. And I just think women just need to start receiving the credit that they deserve, because women are still getting paid less than men are.
Oh, that brings us to my next one. Do you feel like we will ever be paid equally in a workforce? I think no, because it's been years upon years, and I feel like there's a lot of, especially in entertainment, there's a lot of males get paid more than females, and there's such a gap in between those people not getting paid the equal pay. And just like they just had a case on TV, the big trial scandal, and they were like, people were not getting paid as actresses. The males were getting paid for little bitty roles, and women were getting paid for little or nothing. They were doing like the major roles, and I just feel like that's bogus to me. But like, I really feel like they were not going to get the equal pay that we say. They say, oh, every president's like, oh, we're going to get equal pay for women and men, but in reality, it's never. I don't foresee it happening in the near 4 or 5 years. But they can't even get minimum wage together. So how you think they're gonna pay a woman and a male the same amount?
Well, I was looking up online, and I was on this website called payscale.com, and they were basically saying that for 2020 that women still only make 81 cents per every dollar that every man makes.
What?
So that's a gender pay gap that they were giving that statistic on. So I think they're gonna keep it close to keep women quiet, but it's not fair because there are some women that, again, do it better than men.
Maybe we should speak up. That may be what we need to do. All right. Has there ever been a time or moment in your 20s where you've been treated differently than a male has been treated?
Just period, or like, does it have to deal with like workforce?
It's just period. Like a male has got better treatment than you did because you're a female.
Well, I can say that happens in restaurants. Men always seem to be treated better than women.
Why you say that?
Because, it's just that gender role of the man is going to be paying for the food or the meal. And so no matter if your waitress is male or female, or waiter or waitress is male or female, it doesn't matter. They're going to cater to the guy more. They'll leave your cup empty after you've drank all your drink, but they'll continue without asking and refill a male's cup. Asking for napkins. Oh, you got your condiments and this, that, and the third. And then sometimes you may think it's like flirting in a sense, but I understand you're trying to get your tips, make your coins. But I see that all the time, especially in restaurants. Like, I can be the one paying for the meal, and then when they bring the check to the table and they're like, whoa, yeah, you should have treated me better. You treat us equally because we're here together. You don't know who's gonna pay. I mean, but that's just the type of relationship that I'm in, that we treat each other. He'll pay for meals, I'll pay for meals. But yeah, they definitely treat meals.
I can agree on that one.
Better.
I can agree with, like, when you say at a restaurant, yeah, they do. They are typically like, oh, here's a check. I pay for meals. You don't have to pay every time. But like that is one. I think I got treated differently from a male. Working my first job, I got treated differently. I guess the guy was like, he preferred a male telling him, giving him the products and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm here. I know what teams are. I know what region they are. I'm very knowledgeable on sports, and he treated me as if I didn't know. So let me go ask this man. And then he didn't even know the answer, so I knew it. And he looked really stupid. I'm like, dude, I knew who the team was. I know exactly what you needed. All you had to do was ask, but you decided to go to the male because you just assumed like, oh, well, he knows because he's a dude. He ain't no dick squat about the shit. So I'm like, no, but like, I really do feel like dudes, people do that all the time, especially with females. They just like assume like, because it's the male, oh, he got to be dominant, he got to be this and that and the third. No, women can do stuff too.
Yeah, I keep circling back and saying the same thing, but I just feel like women are only gonna get the respect they deserve in roles that are gendered to women. Like, we're always gonna be the ones who get the respect in beauty, in fashion, in certain sports like cheerleading, like shit like that. Like, everything that people put to be a female thing, that's where we get our respect at. But when we start crossing the lines and venturing off into things that are gendered to men, that's when it becomes taboo, unfortunately.
Do you feel that history made society this way? Like, the history of like people, the way history is made, created this phenomenon of men are in domination of women. Like,
I definitely think so. And I think men still mad because back in the day when women started saying like, hey, we want to vote, we want to speak up, we want to have these women's rights groups, when women start showing up and showing out, they just kind of like, okay, they really want to like, it really stroked some egos when women started doing that. But I think now men don't want to admit it, but women are very powerful when it comes to certain things that are amongst their skill sets. And I think now they're just slowly weaning that theory off, and we're slowly but surely gonna one day get the respect that we would deserve. And one day men will confess and say, okay, she might know what she's doing.
I can't wait for that day, because I'm like, hey, what's up? All right, what would you tell your 20-year-old self about being a woman in this society? What would you tell her?
I would just say being a woman is still very powerful, and it's a great thing to be a woman and to be proud to be a woman, to be a Black woman, and to not put yourself in a category or a box where you limit yourself to your capabilities, because you can definitely do anything you want to do, whether it's doing something that's gendered to men or gendered to women, or just do whatever. Put your mind to it. If it's something that you're passionate about, if it's something that you believe in, something that is something that you're just great at, just go after it, do it, put your full passion, enthusiasm, heart, spirit, soul, God behind it, and it will manifest, and you write your own story. So just push towards that, and you'll be successful at anything as long as you're happy.
I agree with that. Like, if I was telling my 20-year-old self right now, I'm like, look, do not let people tell you no. I mean, people gonna tell you no all day, but you can get 1,000 no's, but you can get one yes that's gonna change your life. And to stick with it, and don't get discouraged because Bob or DeQuante got the job. It's okay, because there may be God maybe has something better in store for you, and maybe he wanted you to move in a different way. So that is one thing I would tell myself if I was in my 20s coming into my 30s. Like, be that person, be that strong Black person, Black female, and do not give up. Always try to be the best. And that's gonna be a wrap on our show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. 30's New 20 with Chesley
In the realest Deja.
Make sure you check out our Instagram page at 30 the new 20, and on Instagram, and that is 30 the number 30 THA new NEW the numbers 20 on Instagram. And also you can check out our please subscribe to our YouTube page at 30 new 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to those, guys. We're having a podcast also on Apple. We're on all the streaming podcast sites. So guys, please tune in. Thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll see y'all later.